Hi, everybody.
Hello, I am Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And today we're going to be talking about Mountains by Haba, designed by Carlo A. Rossi. But first, before we do that, we're going to get into our pounds and inches segment where we talk about our health journey a little bit.
All right, so a good thing that helps with health is sleeping well, and I have not been doing that, and it's very frustrating. But it's one of those things to where, like, it's my fault. Like, I have caffeinated tea really late at night, and then I sleep with my phone by my bed, and then I wonder why I'm not falling asleep.
I knew this caffeine addiction, this tea addiction of hers would come to no good.
So I know what's causing it, which is good. So I'm going to go back to some old methods that I was doing of charging my phone at the complete opposite end of the room and using a digital alarm clock. It really helps to train my bed to see, the bedroom as something that is only good for one of two things.
Dun, dun, dun.
What about you?
My work-life balance right now is way out of whack, and I think that that's a big portion of whole body and mind health. Instead of just worrying about our bodies, we also need to be focusing on other parts of us as well. And right now I'm in a season where the pendulum is swinging towards work, and I really need to push it back towards the middle, so I can kind of focus on healthier things, and I don't make my healthiest choices when my life is out of balance. So working on that, and we'll see how that goes.
All right, so enough about that. Let's talk about Mountains. Mountains is a game where you're all hikers and you're climbing these summits, and you have to have the correct tools to climb these summits, and you have to have the correct resources, and you might have to ask people for favors in order to do that. And you want to be the one that has collected the most stamps in your passport, essentially. But if that doesn't make any sense to you, that's okay, because Ryan here is going to show us how to play.
Let's take a look. In the game Mountains, we are all hikers, and we are going on these hikes. There are 6 different hikes, starting from the easiest ones all the way up to these ones up here. Now, each one requires a certain amount of equipment. At the beginning of the game, based off of the number of players, you're going to be dealt some equipment cards. So here, in a 4-player game, you're going to get 4 different random equipments. And on your turn, you can choose to go on a hike of your choice. So in this case, let's go on an easy one to start the game off. Alright, so we look at our hand, we see that we do in fact have a tent. So we get the reward printed on the card, also reflected there. So we take 3 more of these tokens here. We can also choose to go on the a little bit harder ones. They require more equipment. So in this case, I don't have any of those things. I can either choose to just, you know what, I'm not going to go on that hike today. I'll just take another gem. Add it to my pile. The other thing that you can do, which allows you to kind of get some more information about other players' hands, is to ask for favors. So I might say, hey, Bethany, do you have a knife? And she has to be honest, has to tell whether she has a knife and show it. So you kind of keep on doing that around the table, going through the decks, especially the smaller ones, starting off with, to get as much information about other players' hands as possible, see who has what equipment, so that way to kind of prepare you to go on these bigger and bigger hikes. Now, there are also cards in the deck that say things like, you can buy a stamp in your summit book for 3 gems, or 3 cubes, or favor tokens, or whatever they're called. So in this case, let's go ahead and spend the 3. We have our little summit book. We can do a stamp showing that we went on that hike. This is kind of a secret information thing. This is how you score your points. Whoever has the most stamps at the end of the game wins. Another thing you can do, there are cards that say things like, you can spend 2 gems to get more of these cards. So you draw one from the deck, and now our hand is that much stronger. The rewards for each of these hikes, as they get more difficult, goes up as well. They start giving out some of these summit stamps. So when you complete one from this pile, for instance, you would take a cube. You'd also take 3 of the summit stamps. These stars here indicate that there are going to be 1 of one equipment, 1 of another equipment, but then 2 of another equipment. So for instance, if we needed to have 2 boots, we would be in luck. If ever you run out of the favor tokens, you can choose to just not go on a hike and take 3 from the supply instead of actually going on a hike. The game goes until 2 out of these 4 piles, the higher up scoring ones, are gone. So it could be these 2 or whatever. But as soon as 2 of those bigger scoring piles are gone, the game ends immediately. Whoever has the most stamps wins. The tiebreaker is the favor tokens.
I really enjoy the build-up of this game. You have to take those smaller hikes before you can even try attempting the bigger heights that require more things. So I like that everybody is forced to start small and then build up big, that you can't just run and get it or be lucky. That's just not going to happen. You have to start small before you can get big.
I like how they took the idea of kind of this almost like Go Fish, the old card game. Say, do you have any threes? Go fish. I kind of like how they took that mechanic of asking other people what they have and making it into a full-fledged game, a real gamer's game too. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and to bounce off of that, it's kind of fun towards the end of the game because you almost know what other people have if you've been paying attention to what people have been asking other players. And so you know if you go on a more difficult hike, you can look at it and towards the end of the game, you kind of know if you'll be able to do that or if you have enough favor tokens to ask the people you need for that. So I like that towards the end of the game, you have all this knowledge and you can kind of guess what you're able to do.
I really like the theme of this game. I love the outdoorsiness of it, and I love the artwork of it. That's what caused us to buy it in the first place.
And I also like how even if it's not your turn, you can still get stamps by another player pulling one of those cards. But I also think it's unfortunate when you're that player and you can't pay for that. But it's good because it's that type of interaction that makes the game fun.
So a game called Mountains and Hiking, you'd think would be a really great portable hiking kind of a game, right? Wrong. This game is not as portable as I wanted it to be. The amount of air in the box is kind of astounding. In fact, the amount of air that we brought home from Gen Con in boxes is astounding. I think that's a plague that publishers have done to make their more... That's a separate topic. But anyways, yeah, there's just a lot of room in the box, and between the stamp, which is kind of superfluous, and it's a cool gimmick, but it's kind of superfluous, and the board, which is also kind of not needed. It just seemed like this could have been a much smaller deck-sized game that would have been a little bit more portable, and that's what I was looking for, but I didn't get it. But I'm still not unhappy.
So we've talked about before we review games, we like to play them at different player counts so we can give you an accurate description of that. And it plays 2-player. I'm just not a huge fan of the 2-player variant. The other players are fun and it's a bit more interactive and you can kind of do more because there's more cards out there. Actually, that's not true. There's not more cards out there, but it's more interactive and I didn't, it was fun 2-player. I didn't enjoy it as much as the other player counts.
I kind of already hinted at it, but the stamp to me could have been a lot of things. It could have been a token. It could have been something was reusable instead of having to use ink that might dry up and a pad of paper that's just going to run out. It could have been some other form of keeping track of the stamps. And I think it's kind of cool. It's a gimmick, but again, it's not quite as travel friendly, and it's a resource that can be used up.
And there's only X amount of cards in every single deck, and I think that you can have those memorized. So you'll know in like the 5-stamp deck what the double items are because there's only so many items. So I think that if you play this a lot, you would be able to memorize that.
Yeah. This is a game, I really liked it, actually. I had some things to say about it, but I really did enjoy it. It's great for family settings. It's also great for the kind of people who like to play party games, but they don't necessarily like the strategy games as much. This game kind of bridges that gap a little bit. It kind of has a little bit of that hidden information, but it still has a little bit of strategy too. I like that. This is a good game. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. It was easy and it was easy to teach, and so that's really good. Like when Ryan was talking about people who like
lighter games or party games.
That's the one, yeah. So then it'd be easier to teach people who enjoy those things more at this game, and it was fun to play. Like I said, the fact that it didn't play 2-player nearly as much as I wanted it to is kind of a deterrent, but besides that, overall, I really enjoyed it.
Alright, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see all of our latest videos as they come out, and we've got a bunch of them coming out soon. You can also find our blog on BoardGameGeek.com. It's called Pounds and Inches, where we talk a little bit more about our health journeys. We're on Twitter, at Ryan and Bethany 1. We're on Facebook, Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews, and we are on Instagram, at BNFigs. So in all those places, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because we love hearing from you guys.
All right, well, this is Ryan and I, Bethany, encouraging you to play games, live healthy, and create moments. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.